If you are facing domestic violence in a relationship, it is important that you get help. Sometimes it's very difficult to do when you're with that person. If there is a way that you can somehow signal that you need help, it is important to do that. As far as filing, if you are able to consult with an attorney, you have remedies through the court in which you can file. And even if you are living with that person, if the court finds that you are being abused, they can enter an immediate order in order to evict that person from the residence, even if that residence is not in your name. It is important to know that you have those rights and that you can get help. Um, you can have that temporary order issued by a district court if it is off hours when the courthouse is closed. If you do that, you must file as soon as the courthouse is open because the temporary order will expire at that time. But you can get an order over the weekend by contacting your local district court. If it is during regular court hours, you can contact the main courthouse, and there will be an ex parte hearing to decide whether a temporary order should issue. Then a hearing will be scheduled within 10 days, usually less than 10 days. It is one of the areas of law where you can actually serve the petition upon the defendant if needed. But generally, a sheriff would be the most appropriate person to serve the defendant. If it includes a eviction, it is important that you protect yourself and perhaps have the sheriff do the service for you rather than attempt to do it yourself. Even if you get a temporary order, you're still going to have to go to a hearing in order to establish that you're entitled to a more permanent order. Orders in Pennsylvania are not permanent like they are in New Jersey. In Pennsylvania, you can get a maximum of 3 years for a protection order, which you can then renew if there is a violation or a new reason that you need another order. In most cases, a court will hold a hearing and they may enter it less than 3 years if it is not a serious abuse, but meaning you did not end up in a hospital, but you are still continuing to suffer abuse. Sometimes a court will enter a temporary order for an extended period of time to allow the parties to cool down and see if there's a continuing need for a PFA. PFAs can be entered by agreement. When they are entered by agreement, they are as enforceable as if you had a hearing and a court was found. So if you are facing a PFA, keep in mind that by agreeing to a protection from abuse order through the court system, it is no different except it's a finding without fault than if you went to a hearing. They are equally enforceable and hold the same weight. If you violate a PFA order and you have a PFA order entered against you, it then becomes a criminal matter. The court can then put you in jail. You can be arrested immediately, and then you will have a hearing to determine whether or not you violated that court hearing. So there are certain people that can obtain a PFA, and it's best to consult an attorney to see whether you fall within the statute. Our office handles domestic violence cases on a regular basis, and if you need assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out for help.